Hello, welcome to the Mr. Jurgensen Show. This is a review for our Egypt test in early world history. Actually, this is over ancient Egypt and the Kingdom of Kush, chapters 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now, remember, tomorrow the test is going to be on Moodle. You're going to have multiple choice, matching, and you're going to have 2 short answer questions that I will go over today on this video. And these questions are going to require some thought. So sit down, read these questions, and think about your response. The first one: compare the establishment, choice and location, and success of ancient Egypt and Kush to the empires of Mesopotamia. Now you're going to be talking about not only Egypt and Kush, but also empires from our last unit, like Babylon, the Akkadians, the Hittites, and compare how they chose their location. One similarity that we already went over in class is those civilizations or those empires in Mesopotamia centered around 2 major water systems, 2 major river systems, the Tigris and the Euphrates. Now, if you look at Egypt and Kush, what river did they locate themselves around? Yes, the Nile River. Both rivers, all 3 rivers, supplied silt. When flooded, silt would expand to the surrounding areas and fertilize the ground, the soil, for farmers to grow crops. Of course they would want to settle here because not only does it supply irrigation for crops, but also drinking water and bathing, transportation, which also encourages trade. If you control a major water system, you're going to be able to trade up and down that river system and be more prosperous. Success of both ancient Egypt and Kush can be compared or can be described in their architecture. The Great Pyramids of Giza, one great example, the Great Pyramid. As well, King Khufu or Pharaoh Khufu had those constructed. Abu Simbel, Ramses II. And also, if you go to the Hittites with their mighty fortress or their mighty capital city, and then also Babylon, the Hanging Gardens, the great ziggurats of Mesopotamia. Also military success, Ramses II in the Golden Age, and his major victory at the Battle of Kadesh. Well, remember, it wasn't really a victory for the Egyptians. It was more or less a stalemate where both sides kind of just backed off and then later signed a peace treaty. Let's see what else. Success can range from several different things. Government, success in government. Think about how government in Egypt and Kush was similar to the government in Mesopotamia. Remember, they both had kings, they both had large armies, strong laws. You can compare Hammurabi's code. Remember, that was very strict in the Babylonian Empire in Mesopotamia. Be creative with this response. Do your research. Use terms from your notes. The second one, and I know this video is boring, but this, remember, is a review for your test. Second one, discuss how Egypt's social structure is similar to our own today. Several students came up to me today and said, Mr. Jurgensen, that is probably the easiest question that you've ever given us on a test. And it is. Be creative. You had a worksheet that was a pyramid. It doesn't really look like a pyramid, but a pyramid that broke down the social structure in Egypt. And remember, women had a lot of rights in ancient Egypt. And remember, also try and remember the video we watched with that historian, historian of Egypt's history, the Egyptologist, who said that women had more rights in ancient Egypt than women up into the 1950s in the United States. Remember that as well. Think about the comparisons that you made in that worksheet as well with the different levels of society in ancient Egypt and compare those to ours today. Remember, the Pharaoh is much like our president today, although we live in a democratic society and our president isn't the supreme and utter ruler of the United States of America. Be creative, be detailed, use IDs, terminology from your notes. Now, I hope this helped you somewhat get a grasp of how you will respond tomorrow on your test. All I can say is, from our review today, make sure that you guys study Chapter 9. Okay, Chapter 9 is a big part of the test, and it was a while ago, and I really think that you guys need to review that chapter. Everybody, not just a couple of you. Everybody needs to review that chapter, because a lot of you did not, right off the bat, remember some of the questions that we had on the review. So make sure you review those. Come in tomorrow morning if you need help. And this video is running way too long, and I'm sure this is really boring. So I will let you go. I'm going to go home, cook some supper, grade some papers, do some more homework myself. So good luck studying, and I will see you all tomorrow.